Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Continuing CRYPTOBER. Today's cryptid is probably the most well-known, at least here in the United States, and that is Bigfoot. AKA the Sasquatch. So let's see what the Wikipedia has to say about that. Bigfoot is also commonly referred to as Sasquatch. It is a purportedly ape-like creature said to inhabit the forests of North America. Many dubious articles have been offered in attempts to prove the existence of Bigfoot, including anecdotal claims of visual observations, as well as alleged video and audio recordings, photographs, and casts of large footprints. Some are known or admitted to be hoaxes. Tales of wild, hairy humanoids exist throughout the world, and such creatures appear in folklore of North America, including mythologies of indigenous peoples. Bigfoot is an icon within the fringe subculture of cryptozoology and an enduring element of popular culture. Let's see. The majority of mainstream scientists have historically discounted the existence of Bigfoot, considering it to be the result of a combination of folklore, misidentification, and hoax rather than any living animal. Let's see. Folklorists trace the phenomenon of Bigfoot to a combination of factors and sources including indigenous cultures, the European wild man figure, and folktales. Wishful thinking, a cultural increase in environmental concerns, and overall societal awareness of the subject have been cited as additional factors. Other creatures of relatively similar descriptions are alleged to inhabit various regions throughout the world, such as the skunk ape in the southeastern United States, the almas, Yiran, and Yeti in Asia, and the Australian Yowie, all of which, like Bigfoot, are ingrained in the cultures of their regions. So let's get its description. Bigfoot is most often described as a large, muscular, and bipedal ape-like creature covered in black, dark brown, or dark reddish hair. Anecdotal descriptions estimate a height of roughly 1.8 to 2.7 meters, 6 to 9 feet, with some descriptions having the creature standing as tall as 3 to 4.6 meters, 10 to 15 feet. Some alleged observations describe Bigfoot as, quote, more man-like, with reports of a human-like face. In 1971, multiple people in the Dallas, Oregon region filed a police report describing a, quote, overgrown ape, and one of the men claimed to have sighted the creature in the scope of his rifle, but could not bring himself to shoot it because, quote, it looked more human than animal. Common descriptions also include broad shoulders, no visible neck, and long arms, which skeptics describe as likely misidentification of a bear standing upright. Some alleged nighttime sightings have stated the creature's eyes glowed yellow or red. However, eye shine is not present in humans or any other known apes, and so proposed explanations for observable eye shine off the ground in the forest include owls, raccoons, or possums perched in foliage. Michael Rugg, owner of the Bigfoot Discovery Museum in Northern California, claims to have smelled Bigfoot, stating, quote, imagine a skunk that had rolled around in dead animals and had hung around in garbage pits. The enormous footprints for which the creature is named are claimed to be as large as 610 millimeters, 24 inches, long, and 200 millimeters, 8 inches, wide. Some footprint casts have also contained claw marks, making it likely that they came from animals such as bears, which have 5 toes and claws. Here we go. It is a classic, and hello, Ferb! So, we have Bigfoot. I grabbed the infamous footage, right here, of the Bigfoot, which really just looks like a person in a gorilla costume. Some sculptures and figures of Bigfoot, and a recreation of the Neanderthal, because some people think that's what he is also. Although I have to say, if he's walking around stinking like garbage, that doesn't seem to bode well for him as a creature trying to survive in the wild, because everything in the universe can smell him. So if he's trying to hunt something, they'll know he's coming, and if he's trying to avoid predators, they will smell him. So, let's see. Actually, funnily enough, I spent yesterday sketching my Wookiee for the D&D game that I'm in. So this should be a lot easier because, you know, the Wookiee is based off of Bigfoot. Let's see. So, it's funny that like on the one hand, I mean, this looks kind of squat, but people either draw them with like or create them with like a squat face or a really long face. So I have to decide, do we have a long-headed ape-man? Oh, Ferb says, but if he's already stinky, what are those Bigfoot offshoots that's just Bigfoot but stinky? Wouldn't that just be Bigfoot? You're right. The skunk ape is supposed to be Bigfoot but smelly. So, like, if Bigfoot himself is supposed to stink worse than, like, anything, what the hell does the skunk ape smell like? Is it like weaponized stank where if you smell it, it'll knock you out because it's just so bad you can't function? I know, he's already smelly. So what could that smell like if the skunk ape smells so bad that it's like somehow different? It's all just it's all just Bigfoot. I mean, I said before it was funny looking up all of the cryptids and stuff, because in some cases, it was just, well, that's just Bigfoot. But again, if Ferb keeps mistyping Bigfoot on purpose, I think. But Nigfoof. Bingfoof. I like Bingfoof. That's funny. Alright, so it's got like kind of slopey bear-like shoulders. I should just get a picture of a bear on its hind legs. For once, it's not something with mange. It's just a bear. Bear on hind legs. Let's get picture of bear. Oh, that's a perfect one. Come here, brown bear. This is a perfect reference. Let's put it in the references folder. Come here. Yeah. The bear. Yep, bear with mange confirmed. This is a bear with mange, and so people are like, it looks like it's got a human face. And it's like, no, that's just a bear with no fur. It's a sad, sad bear. That does look. That does look. Even the coloration here, compared to the coloration on like the ones that portray him with an exposed chest. Ladies and gentlemen, pretty sure it's a bear. Because bears are a lot bigger than you think they are. It's like wolves, or deer, or a moose. You know they're big, but they're not nearly, they're like always bigger than you think they are. It's like, oh, I know how big. And you're like, no, you don't. Larger. Larger, and you will acquire size of bear. Bear will fucking tower over a human. Should I draw him in his classic pose? He should be in his classic pose. Let's shift to this bear man sideways. I do want to know what the... Well, not like as a first-hand experience, but I want to know what the skunk ape is supposed to smell like by comparison, if Bigfoot is supposed to be incredibly stinky. Because I have smelled those terrible smells that they described before. I've smelled terrible, terrible garbage that needed to be taken out. And I have sadly smelled deceased animals. Usually because somebody brought them to our back door. I'm looking at you, kitty, and the one time that my dog brought home a big dead thing. Not fun. Just going for a jaunt. Cause he's Bigfoot. Doing a weird stanky leg. Cause he's Bigfoot. He has a perfectly square butt, though, in this picture from the recording footage. Hello, I am Bigfoot. My booty is a square. He does not have the rockin' booty that the Mothman has. Like, I understand the jaunt he's supposed to be doing, but this is one of those things where it's like seeing anything on, like, its between frame just looks weird. Just looks really, really weird. This is not a pose I would have picked. I have to do it. It's like the law that it needs to be. I have to make sure his feet are fucking huge. Like, it's like the law. It's like, oh, if they have an infamous pose, you gotta put them in it. You can't not. But then it's like, wow, that looks a little silly. You need bigger torso. We'll make his arms a little bit longer. It's funny too. If you're like, oh, that's Bigfoot, you can tell because his arms are long. And I'm like, nah, that's about the right size for a human. He's just leaning over. Human can't walk like that. I'm like, oh, I bet you they can though. Have you never tried walking while hunched over? I bet you could do it. Give yourself some credit. Oh my god. Alright. I'm moving this forward. I'm scooting this forward. He needs to lean more. You need to lean more. Lean more forward. And scoot the head more forward. Slide it forward on his lack of neck. Let's give him the body of a bear. And the arms of a guy in a gorilla costume. He's got like little tiny eyes. I guess this explains why Chewbacca kind of looks like a bear too. I'm not gonna give him a bear nose, so I'll give him a big old human nose. Like the Neanderthal guy. A big prominent gorilla brow. Like a level 3 Super Saiyan. Got that big, puffy brow. Oh. Big old tomato nose. And then I guess he's just like a giant mustache, kinda. Who reminds me of He-Who. I don't know what He-Who is. What is that? I don't like the giant mustache. Give him a more ape-like bottom of face. Human nose, monkey mouth. Yeah, there we go. Big old monkey face. Or maybe it's Homer Simpson. I don't know. I'm trying to make it look like a monkey face. Oh, he who is a creature from Unus Annus. Markiplier became a naked primitive man, only craving Takis. Ah, I see. I never watched any of that. I know of it. I have not seen it. Fluff. Gorilla fluff. God, and all I can think of is the Mystery Science Theater reboot where they did the oh god, what was the name of that? There was a Bigfoot movie. I forget what one it was. What it was called. There's a one where a kid, like, escapes from the private school he's in and goes to the nature preserve where his dad works because Bigfoot came to him in a vision and said, "You have to go because your dad's in danger," and I don't know what it's called. Cry Wilderness! Thank you, screaming child downstairs. Jesus. It's called Cry Wilderness, I remembered. And he had like a magic medallion that kept him connected to Bigfoot. And there was like a random lady who took care of creatures that she found in the woods. Like she was supposed to be for the rehabilitation place for wild animals, but it just kind of looked like she lived in a weird cabin. Didn't look like she had any proper facilities at all, but... And then, of course, the movie also had just random animals kind of wandering around, like having them just pick up and manhandle baby raccoons. And you hear the kid, like, yelling every once in a while because I think he's getting bit by the baby raccoons. And then everybody's like, "Oh, ha 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 ha, how funny. Look at how cute they are. Haha, they're giving the kid rabies." No, I'm sure that they didn't have those. Time for big back. Slopey back like bear. Slopey arm like bear. Yes. It's really just gonna look like a partially shaped Wookiee when I'm done. Like, for real. Ah, well. No big deal. He may be the most iconic, but he's also just monkey. So goofy. Bigfoot looks so sad. I was trying to make him look stoic. I guess the frown isn't helping, is it? Gave him big, frowny brows. But... Don't film me, bro. I'm going through some stuff right now. It's like, no, go away. Leave alone. Leave the monkey alone. Go away, human. Me, I'm going through things. Going to see psychiatrist. Talk about important family drama. Private, not for you. Go away. That's why he smells. He's too depressed to shower. Yes! Verb is correct. He's too sad to shower. Please, have bad body odor problem. Go away. Oh, every time, go down to river to take a bath. Human is there. Ah, please leave alone. I'm just monkey. Just want to take a shower. Then go root around in dumpster behind Arby's. Get French fry. I don't know why I have been talking like this. Like, I'm talking like a caveman. Because he's a caveman. Hey, Desaren! We're drawing the Bigfoot. Ferb thinks he looks sad. Although now that I've tweaked his expression, I think he looks kind of annoyed. Oh, the most important Sasquatch? Who am I missing? It's the one from, like, that family drama. Where, like, some people, like, adopt the Sasquatch and it comes and lives in their house. I don't remember what that was called. I just remember that it existed at one point. Give him some more hair on his arms so he doesn't look too skinny. He's gotta look nice and fluff because he's a big mountain ape man. Oh no. Oh boy. Zaren's linked me. Yup, Harry and the Henderson. Alright. I will put that in the references. I need to have it in the references. There we go. Good God. Put it over there. Nope. Somebody sent me a message. Why? Oh, I didn't jump in the other chat. That's what happened. I was in a different call and I never jumped into the proper one. Whoops. I wasn't in the right chat. That's what happened. Hi, David.
Oh, hello.
Whoops. Let me turn my share screen on. I was actually in a call with Mike, and he went to go do chores and things. And for some reason, I had it in my brain that I had hopped into the correct call, but I didn't, as we can see.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. Like, so you have been streaming?
Yeah, I've been streaming for about 20 minutes.
Okay, okay.
Whoops.
Alright, well, I was a bit late to show up anyway, so no worries.
It's okay. My bad.
No.
Oh, you mean this one, or do you mean the one that's filmed as Aaron? Because they're both pretty bad. Oh, does Aaron ask me a question in chat? I said,
okay.
Compared to your left one, what do you think? Oh, the middle one, I couldn't see the far left. Oh, yeah. That one's face is pretty intense. Although I have to say, out of all of the creatures, all of the depictions of him, if I ran into one in the woods that had a face like that thing, I probably would turn around and be like, nope, bye.
Okay. So, what? Bigfoot, yes.
Yes, Bigfoot. is today's cryptid.
Oh,
Simple, lazy, old picture is probably the best. Yeah. I mean, it looks to me like a dude in a gorilla costume.
So we're going with the idea it's sort of like a Neanderthal.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I got it because I wanted to use a Neanderthal to base its face, because people are like, oh, its face is so human. Yeah, the fuzziness does help it, Darren, you are correct. That's the best piece of evidence because of its fuzzy and because it's, like, you know, during the day and clearly a thing walking around.
Fuzzy.
Big fluffy.
Waka waka.
But here's a fun, an interesting thing me and Ferb were talking about before, because Ferb brought it up and pointed it out. When I read about it, somebody's like, oh, he has a very distinctive stank. Oh, I do know that one. I'll talk about it in a second. He's got a very, very recognizable stink. He smells like dead animals rolling in, like, rotting garbage. And Ferb pointed out, but wait a minute. Then what does the skunk ape smell like? If the skunk ape is supposed to be Bigfoot but stinky... Hello!
Hello.
If it's supposed to be Bigfoot but stinky, then what the hell does then what the fuck does the skunk ape smell like? If Bigfoot already smells like the most rank and horrid garbage and dead animals you could possibly find. Yeah, Desaren says the skunk ape is 10 times worse somehow, according to, like, the myth, yeah. To soften these shoulders even more because a bear's shoulders do not stand out like ours do. But Desaren asked a second ago if I know the SCP that is Bigfoot, and I do. The one where it's like, oops, we kind of, we fucked it up and we regressed Bigfoot in the worst possible way.
You regressed him politically?
Well, no, that the thing in in SCP, the SCP that's Bigfoot, and I forget its number, is supposed to have been that Bigfoot was a highly advanced civilization that, like, grew their technology. And that primitive humans did something at some point that destroyed the entirety of their civilization and somehow regressed them back into these primitive creatures and screwed up how their brains work.
We introduced them to soccer.
And then we, like, evolved in their place. Yeah, we were indeed Neanderthals, basically, at the time. The funny thing is if you read the SCP, the whole first part of it is a complete lie. Yeah. The part that's like, oh, you know, they might be kind of intelligent, but they carry a disease that if you look at them and make eye contact, you'll die in, like, 24 hours. So don't go looking for them and keep people from looking at them. But then it's like, no, that's a bunch of bullshit because we actually really screwed them up, and leaving them alone is, like, the least we can do, because if they start remembering and becoming intelligent again, we don't know if they're going to be mad.
Well, they're gonna be stolen.
Yeah, you've got a 90% chance of dying instantly. I'm sorry, I remembered it incorrectly. A 90% chance. Hello again, Roman! Roman is a person who joined for the first time last night.
Yeah, hello, Robin.
Oh, by the way, Mikey, I don't know if you're looking at the share screen, but I pointed out to Ferb that unlike Mothman from last night, rather than having a rock and tush, Bigfoot has a square butt. A perfectly square ass.
How unexciting.
Oh no, how disappointing.
He got a meaty thigh, though.
I know, he do have the thickest of thigh. It's thick with, like, 3 C's. Today I've realized something, says Roman.
The Greeks did it first.
Desaren says, yeah, the SCP entry heavily implies that they do know. Their numbers are just so limited now that they can't do much. They have a note from the species politely asking to be let back into civilization, essentially. I mean, in that case, you know, why not? They wrote a nice, polite message to us. Be like, hey, Can you fix us, please? We don't have any grudges. But then, of course, the note is like, oh, but if we do, and they're way so much more advanced than we are right now, what'll happen to us? I'm like, oh, so we're just gonna leave them? Okay.
I would like to rejoin society, said all the QAnon people to their families.
Oh, God. The concern is, yeah, what if they do take revenge? Yeah. It seems that the best way to keep them from doing vengeance would be to, like, be, like, nice to them, you know? If you're like, oh my gosh, yes. Oh, Roman says, the ability that I explained to you last time with the amount of mass and everything, you remember, right? And yes. I do remember. It was displacing mass by phasing through it and adding it to your own to increase the power of your punch. Yeah, I'm trying to give him the big ol' thigh. Desirin has also added that the reason it is so scary to the SCP people is because their technology was basically nature magic. Yeah, like I said, they like grew their tech. Like giant insect flying buses and stuff. Gonna do big shaggy leg. Like a Wookiee, but less fluffy. Wookiees have longer fur. Now that I think about it. Because I did spend all of yesterday drawing one. Over and over and over. While we were playing the game. Which, again, Mikey, so much fun. Zoran says, imagine if we could grow a living vehicle the size of a bus and enter inside of it for transport. Yeah. Actually, that might be mildly gross. That would just be Scorn, wouldn't it? Which, now that I've seen, is on my wish list. It's actually not as, like, graphic as I thought it was going to be. So it actually may be safe for streaming purposes. Because while, yeah, everything is like bio mass. Scorn is a game based off of art. I forget who one of the artists is, but the other one is H.R. Giger. We think a human, maybe. I mean, your body's not very human anymore, but you basically premises you wake up on an alien planet, presumably in a facility of an alien species, or really evolved humans, unclear, whose civilization has fallen and been taken over by another alien creature, who's basically like kind of like the Flood, in a sense that they're like all they're kind of like if the Flood were army ants. Roman says, so when you put your hand in a glass of water, the water moves up because the amount of water needs to go somewhere. Yes.
All I know about Scorn is that I don't know anything about Scorn. And nobody knows anything about Scorn. Like, there's nothing to know, there's only things to theorize.
Let me see. I'll find the trailer for it. Hold on a minute. We can watch that really quick.
Don't worry. I actually have been following the game a little bit, so I know the details about it, but that's why I'm making the joke, is because it doesn't really give you a story. It gives you visual cues and things to theorize about, but it doesn't give you any definitive answers about anything.
Okay, well, I'll pop it over because it looks like Dezarin is intrigued, and it's not a very long one. It's about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Let's pause the music. Hold on. You thing. Here we go. Let's watch the Scorn trailer really quick. This is something I've been looking at. Not for the Xbox. Mine will be on PC.
I don't know. If you want to play a dystopian game, Xbox might be the place to have full immersion.
Yeah, but I don't own an Xbox. The
You
game
know what? You own
looks gorgeous.
You own a PlayStation. That might be more appropriate.
Oh, it looks so good.
Looks like Warhammer.
Kinda, yeah.
Honestly, I think all of that would look great.
Oh, there's your character.
Setting.
Your character, like, looks like a human, but not really.
Oh, visuals.
Yeah, very Giger inspired.
It looks so ironic, but I've never been more turned off.
Yeah, well, it's not supposed to look sexy. I think the faucety thing, Dzarin, is a gun. I think that's your gun. I don't know what that thing is. Oh, there's the polyps.
Having seen this game, I can tell you they're lit. Okay, I saw the ending to this game because
Oh, don't spoil it. There's how you heal yourself. I know that.
This is no, but I will tell you this much: there is definite schlong in this game.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that was the handle of the gun. You have two guns. One shoots a spike. Hello. One fires a spike out of it and stabs something in front of it, and the other one kind of shoots teeth, sort of. They look like teeth.
I don't even mean that. Your character is literally naked.
No, I know that. I was answering Dzarin when Dzarin went, "What?"
Yeah, but yeah. So the character is literally naked, and you will occasionally see their penis.
Well, I'm sure that it probably is not anything too exciting since people are streaming it on Twitch. Then again, people also are streaming Cyberpunk
2077. But that'll be interesting because I don't think it occurs until near the end of the game.
Probably not. And from the bits I've seen, it looks like your body doesn't look very human. It looks kind of like it's an exoskeleton pretending to be a human, if that makes sense.
Oh, yes, I agree with you, but there's definitely going to be people accidentally getting banned for streaming that.
I believe you.
Yeah, I think, Scorn was not made with Twitch streamers in mind.
Well, if that happens, we'll get around it.
You'll get around it by waiting until you're unbanned.
Yes. I don't think I'd get insta-banned for it. I think at worst it'd be like, there's a strike, and I'd be like, shit. Time to put a big censor bar. To answer your question, Roman, yes, water displacement does occur if you place an object in the ocean, but because of the size of the ocean, compared to the object you would drop into it, the ocean level would not rise by any significantly measurable amount, unless the thing you put in the ocean was massive, like a continent. That's why when we put boats in the water, it doesn't overflow onto land. And Dzarin pointed out you can tick a box to say that your stream has mature content on it.
Yeah, I think mature, but adult-only stuff is not allowed in here, is it?
Yeah, but I don't think that Scorn maybe seeing a flaccid wang one time would be...
Who said anything about flaccid?
I mean, if your dude's getting turned on by something at the end of Scorn, we've got a lot of problems that isn't just that he's naked.
I mean, it's not like it's something that you control, but yeah.
You know what I mean, Michael? It's a video game! If he's walking around with a heart on, it's because the game designers gave him one, and then we have more problems than just that. Ferb rolls their eyes and says, "Oh, a penis, how vulgar." Yeah.
Look, okay, it's you can stream games that have gratuitous violence and gore, but the moment there's a penis, that's wrong.
It's wrong and bad. The gun is good, the penis is evil. We got taught that in that one movie. Shit, what is it called?
But what if it turns out that the penis is the gun?
Yeah, Dezaren says, I say again, Outlast. Yeah, well, thankfully in this game, because I've seen the guns, the gun does not look like a penis. It just looks very organic. But it's interesting because on the one hand, the Fallen Civilization has kind of like a carapace thing going on. And then the flood flying polypy creatures are just, like I said, they're like army ants, but made out of biomass. So they build bridges with their bodies and then just like go to sleep until I guess the hive wants them to do something else. Or you disrupt the bridges, which you will by moving everything. And I know that in the prologue you see a very gigantic something that sort of has a human head go by the window, so there is some stuff out there doing things. So let's put the music back on. There we go.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. I was just going to say I thought that I'm pleasantly surprised because when I first saw like trailers and sneak peeks for the game, I thought it was just going to go the grindhouse, hostile, torture porn, nothing but gore, look how bloody we are.
Yeah.
Route, but it doesn't look like it did that. It's gone the I don't really understand what I'm looking at route.
Yeah. One thing I will spoil is that apparently the combat is not great at all.
Yeah. Then again, the game also kind of encourages you to just not.
Well, I saw like an IGN review of it, and they made an interesting point about that, where there are no real like cover or sneak mechanics for the game. So even though there is like, I think they said chapter 4 of the game is, where you get a lot of enemies,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when combat really has to come out. They don't really give you an alternative to combat.
Well, the guy I was watching just discovered that if you run far enough away, the enemy just goes meh and melds itself back into the wall because you've left, and then you can just walk past where they were. Also,
True.
Since they don't have eyes, you can just walk up right behind them and wait for them to go away. But yeah, I mean, I understand that IGN was probably like, oh, combat-wise, this isn't great, but looking at it, I'm not expecting it to have great combat. I'm expecting the weapon to just be if you have no other choice, you will use this. But you seem to heal pretty often. But like, I know that one of the weapons, and it's not exactly a spoiler because it happens like immediately in the game, that one of them is sort of like a symbiote parasite thing that just kind of hops onto you and burrows its little limsies into your torso and is like, here, I am gun. And you're like, oh, neat. It also becomes your backpack. It carries things in its hands free. So, that's all I'll say about what I saw. Because I don't want to spoil it too much. But yeah, Dezaren, you are right. That it's, that it does still have body horror. But what I mean is it's like you're not going to walk around every other corner and it's like, let me show you somebody's guts getting taken out, Here's
the Dead Space Eye.
Yeah,
thing.
Here's the Dead Space Eye thing just for you. I was like, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but I will say there is definite moments of extreme gore, like organs and stuff falling out.
When?
I won't say when specifically, but it is in the game.
Is it early on or later?
Later, to my knowledge.
Okay. Because like I said, it looks like the most stuff that what it's going for isn't, oh god, look how gross this can be. It looks like it's going for,
The art style is literally, let's see how gross we can make it.
That's not what H.R. Geiger was going
yeah,
for, though. He
I
didn't
wouldn't
draw
say-
gore. He just tried to draw stuff that looked surreal and bizarre, and they've tried to make a game out of
Yeah.
it. I don't think
wouldn't
it's the
use the
same
word-
as...
Sorry.
It's okay. I just wanted to say I don't think it's the same as something like, oh my god, what the hell, Evil Within. Where Evil Within was like, look! Now we're gonna make you poke a human brain. Isn't that disgusting? We're gonna make you walk around inside of a floor covered in people's innards. Isn't that gross? Don't you see how evil this is? Where instead this one is just, you look at it and you might find it gross because A, it's organic, and B, you don't understand what it is. You're like, oh, what is that? Why is this, because this entire computer is made of bio things, so I have to stick this thing in this orifice, and ew, that's so weird. Why do I have to do this?
Yeah, the word is not really gross for what they were going for. It's more disturbing.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I think anybody who is like, oh, I have a very weak stomach for gore probably wouldn't enjoy it.
No,
But I'm just
I don't
saying
think
that
so.
I would not put it up there. I would not look at this game and go, oh, they just made this because they were trying to be gross. Because shock value and haha, see. I don't think that's what they were doing at all. But, Roman says, I have a weird monster idea. Go for it. What is your weird monster, Roman? Bigfoot got those bell bottoms. Yeah, I like the bell bottom kind of fluffy. Gotta give him his giant feet. But yeah, I can understand your misgivings about it though, Mike, because there's been plenty of games that were like that. Like, oh god, what's the name of that game where they were like, you're in hell, and look how helly it is.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The one that had the weird vagina.
Yes. Where people were like, oh, Scorn's gonna be just like that. And thankfully
Agony.
it looks like it's not. Agony!
That's the
Thank
one.
you. Yes, Agony.
Yeah. Apparently the sequels get worse.
I
That's the game had a
believe
sequel?
it. Also,
Yeah.
it has a...
Yeah.
Ugh. That was the one that looked really edgelord off the top of the bat. They're like, this innocent and delicate lady creature who is so innocent and delicate that she doesn't wear clothes. She created hell. And I was like, I don't like that.
A spin-off game titled Succubus, original, was announced by MadMind in December 2018. It centers on playing a succubus, surprising,
Okay.
Vidya, as she seeks revenge and a task set by Nimrod, gather Baphomet's tongue. In July 2020, a free demo was made available. Another spin-off game titled Agony, Lords of Hell was officially announced in December 2021. The game will be set between the events of Agony and Succubus and expands upon the fate of the protagonist of the former game and Vidya, who is the protagonist of the latter.
I think he's supposed to be like a priest who ended up in hell because he did bad things.
Yeah.
Roman says that his monster idea is, it's a basic monster in the woods in my story idea. It is a schoolgirl that on all fours jumps and makes sounds like a frog, eats like a chicken, and is harmless so long as you do not come near with him. When coming near, out of all holes from the face, long bobbit worm monsters will attack you. Sounds like a parasite. Funky. This may be another one that we completely finished today because I can't really think of anything else to do for him. Desaren says, yeah, why can't we have more metal versions of hell like in Dante's Inferno? That's true. The Dante's Inferno game went hardcore from moment one.
Can I just say, looking at this description of Agony, this game sounds boring as fuck.
It kind of
It is.
It is.
The game is played from... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, from what I've seen, it actually is not terribly exciting either. Yeah, Dezarin says Dante's Inferno is over the top insanity, but at least it's fun. Yeah. Dante's Inferno.
The game is.
Sorry,
the
go ahead.
game is played from a first-person perspective.
Mm-hmm.
The player controls one of the martyrs condemned to hell, Amraphel, aka Nimrod, tasked with meeting the Red Goddess, one of the creators of hell, in an effort to escape and return to the land of the living.
Yes,
Unlike
he's
other
talking
martyrs,
about agony, Dezarin.
Yeah, unlike other martyrs, the player possesses the unique ability to possess both other martyrs and, later in the game, lesser and higher demons, giving them access to special abilities. Using mechanics such as crouching and holding their breath, the player can avoid demons. Besides hiding, the player needs to solve puzzles in order to unlock new areas. There are available hidden statues the player can collect, as well as paintings, which are possible to discover. That's the gameplay. The description of the gameplay feels padded.
Yeah, because it's like oh, and there's unlockables.
Like, I feel like you could sum it up in a sentence.
It's Christian hell, Dezarin. So it's hell with 2 L's. Roman says, in fantasy anime stories, the weakest monsters are either slimes or goblins, but in my idea, it's bobbit worms using schoolgirl's body as a home to attack from. I think that there was actually something you may find inspiring, Roman, if that's the direction you're going with your monster. The Magnus Archives has a character similar to that, who is a woman who's infested with worms. She's purposefully allowed them to turn her body into a host. The whole series is really good, actually.
Wasn't there also an Eddie Murphy movie like that?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't really watch Eddie Murphy movies now that I think about it.
I remember there was like a movie where Eddie Murphy was basically like a giant robot for, well, a human-sized robot, tiny aliens, and they were trying to control him.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that. Alright, let's make a tiny Bigfoot. Let's make a little chibi Bigfoot. I'm trying to remember if there are any other games with hold your breath mechanics, says Dezarin.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of
Yeah, literally.
yeah.
Literally every shooter in like the past 10 years, pretty much.
One that we've both played, Dezarin, Detention, had a hold your breath mechanic because of how the ghosts in that work. The ghosts can't find you if you're not breathing. That's the one that immediately came to mind. Oh, yeah, you were trying to remember Detention? Yeah, Detention's a good game. I highly recommend it. And Dezarin says, I'm not counting Call of Duty. That's not horror.
It is if you're not American.
I was gonna say it is if you play it correctly.
Hey. Don't forget. It's also don't forget Call of Duty also, I'm trying to think of the proper way to put this.
Dezarin says that's not horror, it's just life. I'm sorry, I cut you off. What'd you say, David?
I'm just trying to think of a better way to express. No, I can't really think. Mike, what's
another word? Type it if you're not sure you can say it out loud. Just type him a message and ask about a different, is there another word for?
What's there?
I think the closest
right, Mike,
a shooter game got to horror, besides having a zombie mode, I guess, would
it's
be
a tricky one, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah.
It would be that one game where you were undercover as a Russian agent, and you had to torture and kill civilians to keep your
Glorified.
Oh yeah, no Russian. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Call of Duty also glorifies the British Army, not just the U.S. one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also portrays ultra-nationalists as the good guys.
Dazarin says, oh, another game that has Hold Your Breath QTEs is Until Dawn and subsequent games by that company. Yeah.
Well, I haven't played a lot of horror games, so I can't wait.
And thank you, Roman. I'm glad you liked the Bigfoot. Roman said, nice Bigfoot.
Yeah. I say, oh, thank you for noticing, but I'm a size 8, so I don't think I count.
No, it's okay, Dazarin. There's nothing wrong with being a horror fan. If you want to continue to list the horror games you enjoy, feel free.
Also, man is the most horrifying monster in existence.
Yeah. I mean, if you
According
think about
to
it, we
Vincent
kind
Price.
of are. Well, I mean, we kind of are because of how intelligent we are.
Well, also because of TikTok.
Unfortunately, Vincent Price didn't live long enough to see that.
Can you imagine? Roman says, I also had another monster idea. It's like a whale swimming in sand, and on its body is a pool of quicksand. They can also create sand waves with said pool. Neat. Dazarin says, oh, no, don't worry, Dazarin, you're fine. If you want to type a bunch of things, it's totally okay. I have no problem reading them out, though if they are long, it might take me a second.
But you should apologize for saying sorry too much.
Mikey.
Sorry, eh?
Let me see if I can find that speech.
Dazarin says that was half a joke.
Okay, if you just stop it here, it kind of looks like that four-armed alien from Star Wars. You know the one I'm talking about,
yes.
right? Yeah, from the Solo movie.
Sorry is ingrained into our culture. I can understand that.
Well, it's fine, because Americans have a lot to be sorry for.
I was gonna say, I'm an American woman. Sorry has been ingrained into me also.
And by Americans, I don't mean like people from the United States. I mean just
the continent.
People
North Americans.
Yeah, North Americans.
The North American continent.
Sorry, eh? I can't believe that. Oh gosh, what's his face? He was The Mask. What is
Jim
his name?
Carrey?
Jim Carrey. Thank you. I can't believe Jim Carrey actually has such a terrible Canadian accent. He popped up.
I can't believe he's so good at fucking burning people.
He did a cameo in Anchorman 2, like representing the Canadian Broadcasting Service, and his Canadian accent is actually atrocious. And he's Canadian, which is the thing that I find amazing.
It's like my British accent.
Well, it's kind of like Jason Statham and his terrible British accent.
It's kind of like Chris Pratt and his barely existent bad Brooklyn accent.
Do you get the sense that he wanted to, like, he strikes me as the kind of person who would want to do something more bombastic, right? He strikes me as the kind of person who would want to do, like, a full-on Brooklyn accent. But I feel like there was somebody in the production who was like, no, that'll be offensive to New Yorkers.
I actually think it's the opposite. I think he didn't want to do an accent at all because he made a big deal out of saying he wasn't going to do a voice in interviews. But I mean, he could have meant that he wasn't going to do an Italian accent, but...
Well, he he could have also been told to say that. Like, that could have been
that's
part
true
of
also, but...
like these big production movies. They control all of the marketing language, right? Like these actors are literally given a list of talking points and
You
words
must say them.
that they can't say, like phrases or words that they cannot say, or like, you know, stuff like that. They're given like a pre-approved list of things to say. That's okay. So I feel like it's not just Chris Pratt. I feel like it's the entire production is like really weird about Mario's accent for some reason. I can understand why they don't want to do like a boppity boopity like Italian accent, but on the flip side, who are you offending with a fake New York accent? Like, New Yorkers hear it all the time.
Yeah, they don't care. They'll laugh at it. I mean, but to be fair, in that thing where you're like, oh, you know, if they're doing a fake Italian boppity boopity, you know, that'd be considered offensive. But then on the flip side, you can tell that the French voice actor for Mario is definitely doing an Italian accent on top of his accent. And they don't seem to be upset about that.
That's because the French don't respect the Italians.
Because the French don't care. The French are fine offending anyone. But I mean, if it's like Nintendo's film studio going like, no, you can't say that, then how come how come the French can? Desert says, I can't believe a quote Canadian accent is still thought of as a thing. I mean,
there are Canadian accents. Like, it's not like
different from different places. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the fact that Canadians almost universally pronounce Mario as Mario is a really good example.
Dezarin says, okay, so you're not allowed to use these words in any interviews. Bad, terrible, or boring.
Yeah.
Dezarin, squints.
Oh, I don't think that the Mario movie is going to be bad, terrible, or boring.
Oh, no, I just think I'm going to
excellent.
Yeah, I just think I'm going to not be particularly excited about Chris Pratt's performance just based on what I've seen. I mean, like Pat said, he could surprise us. He could completely surprise us. And we might be like, well, damn, he knocked that out of the park. But thus far, I have not seen it. He's been outshined by Toad.
The other Mario movie was connected to the Super Mario Superverse, like,
Super
TV show thing. The Super Show, yeah. And the thing is I rewatched the entire series of that, right? When they announced that there is a lot in that TV show that would definitely not be acceptable today.
This is true. They did have Dracula as a guest star, though.
They literally, there's literally a segment where they come across like a Japanese village, and it's just Japanese stereotypes, like literally just that, including the ones that we really are not okay with.
Dezarin says, what I meant is you making fun of how I say Mario. We grew up in a different time. Oh, I think grew up in a different time is connected to the Mario Super Show.
Oh, what was I about to say? So apparently found... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, actually, that people in Canada are not the only ones who pronounce Mario as Mario. I've heard people in New York do the same thing.
I'm Mario.
Yeah, that's an accent.
That's true, like the way that I pronounce water.
There are Canadian accents. And also, yes, Roman, I have seen the animated Mario movie.
I don't think I have.
Are you saying that? Hey, Luigi, let's go ahead and save the princess before we gotta go ahead and get our spaghetti.
Yeah, they talked a lot about spaghetti. It was like instead of saying, like, swear words, they just named different kinds of pasta. I guess the way I see it, with so many different accents across different parts of a country, I can't boil anyone down as, quote, Canadian specifically. No, I understand that. It's just, I think the thing to remember is that from another country's perspective, any accent is, like, for example, when people say, oh, I'll do an American accent, they almost always do Hank Hill, even though that's a Texan accent to a person in America.
Well, also, there's just a general American accent. I have a general American accent. I don't have a regional accent.
Because you've, like, lived everywhere.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people who do have a general American accent, and the same thing is for Canadians. There is a general Canadian accent.
Oh,
agree,
Movie Maker
Tom.
crashed! I'm so sorry, Dazera! No! That's awful!
Oh man!
Oh, no! Dazarin is screaming into the void.
It heard you saying that there's no Canadian accent and decided to remind you that there is.
It got offended. It was like,
I remind you
well.
that there's only one true, really American accent. This is the one that I'm doing right now.
Texas?
You sound like Dale.
You do sound like Dale. Dazarin
I'll have you
Orange
know.
is in Alaska.
I'll have you know I ain't gonna be taken down by no Cuban Missile Robot soldiers.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand. It's okay, Dazarin.
Puff, how could you?
I feel like we would all slap our computer programs if we could every time they crashed. I'm looking at you, Photoshop, for when you just decide that you don't think I possess a pen.
I'm here
remember
to
that.
let you know that the government ain't gonna be getting my internal thoughts.
There are multiple German accents, but
Mike
there
lived
is
in Germany for
definitely
a while.
general German accent.
Yeah,
There are similarities that blend between all the accents of the country.
This is true. But
Yes.
I do understand the whole, like, well, you can't just say that there's one because regions are all different.
No.
And yes, that's
But
true.
I can.
I'm just saying that from the
Yeah, that's been on for hours. That's fine.
what I'm saying is that if you ask somebody from a
turned it off
country that isn't the one you're like referring to, like a Canadian would probably say, "Oh, like having an American accent," and that would be a general statement, even though what they might be thinking of would be like a Midwestern accent, or a New York accent, or a Floridian accent, or a Texan one. But you just say American. So Americans would just say, "Oh yeah, a Canadian accent," even though maybe we mean an accent from Quebec. But, you know, it's not something that pops up in our zeitgeist all the time, so we wouldn't be that specific. American accent, Bert Gummer from Tremors. Yes! Yes! I mean, he's the American we all aspire to be. Isn't that right, Mikey?
Yes, absolutely.
This is the American I aspire to be.
I
sure hope
personally,
they have cigarettes in hell.
I personally aspire to be the American president on Independence Day.
Oh yeah, that one guy is constantly talking like this all the time.
Yeah, he's got to hold the whole country together.
Today we celebrate our independence. I bet we will there, my guy. I'm gonna fly a jet. Never mind that my country needs me to literally lead them when we try to get out of here because our infrastructure's been blown to shit. I will fly this jet and shoot down the thing myself. Oh, thank you for following me, Roman. Unfortunately, Twitch, I forgot the name of the thing. Twitch, doesn't tell me that. I think it sends me an email, but there's like no pop-up that says you have a new follower. Dazarin would rather be the guy who flew the jet straight into the alien weapon and blew it up.
I don't want to be that guy because that guy. I don't know if you're familiar with the other roles that he's been in.
Oh.
But
I think he just means the character, though.
No, but I like to think that all of his roles are the same character.
Or the same dude. Just
because
like,
they kind of are.
He's lived.
Much like Tom Hanks.
He plays Uncle Eddie in all of the vacation movies.
Oh, is he the guy that goes,
The thing that frustrates me about his sacrifice at the end is he could have avoided that.
Yeah, he could have just not died by
just fire one of your harm missiles. Why do you need to whatever?
I don't know.
Didn't his last missile jam?
That doesn't happen.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it
How do
did.
you know,
I
Michael?
think that they were like, "Oh no, the shield," and then he's
get
like, "I'll fly my plane into." Yeah, Dazarin just shouted yes.
It doesn't happen. It's not.
Oh, all right, Roman. You have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Goodbye, Roman.
He had to go. Oh, his missile got stuck and wouldn't launch, says Dazarin.
That doesn't happen.
It does in a movie about America made by a person who has probably never actually been to America.
It's a contrived ending. I mean, the movie is contrived, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't make an excuse for like lazy poor writing.
Michael,
Wait,
was
you
a
expect
Chinese missile. It was
realistic writing
bound to
from this
jam.
movie?
That's what you get for exporting your military contractors overseas. They can't compete with American engineering. Only Americans know how to blow shit up.
That's why we gave birth to Michael Bay.
We, the collective American zeitgeist.
Rest his soul.
He's still alive.
American soul.
Oh no, he died a long time ago. That's
Michael Bay?
Successful in Hollywood now. Yeah.
He was born in an oil. Michael Bay was born in an oil field. He arose from the earth of American soil.
You're saying things with conviction again, Mikey, and I don't follow the news, so I actually had to stop.
He's alive. I just said that's why he's successful in Hollywood. Oh my goodness.
I know, but that's why I had to stop for a minute.
He's fine. He's
like, wait a minute, he is alive. What are you talking about?
The thing I actually don't like about Michael Bay's movie making, other than the terrible writing and like
questionable
lazy recycling
ages.
Of footage. The thing that I don't like about his filmmaking is how saturated and high contrast he makes.
Everybody turns various shades of orange.
It's actually painful to look at once you realize how overly saturated the footage is. You're like, oh my god, there's the style is something, but it's like unpleasant because it's not just saturation, it's the high contrast too. Yeah. All the dark colors are crunched to the max.
Yeah, it makes everyone look oily.
Yeah, everyone looks oily and weird.
Everybody's covered and slightly orange, so it's like everybody's covered in a very thin layer of popcorn butter additive that you get at the
Donald Trump
theater.
Makes himself look orange because he's only ever seen humans in Michael Bay movies, and that's what he thinks everyone looks like.
That's because we grew him in a lab. He's actually a potato.
We grew him in Alaska.
He also like you can see it in the Bay explosions actually, because most of his explosions are almost
kind of
red.
Dark. Yeah, they're weirdly dark too.
Yeah, they don't cast a lot of light, and it's because of the way they're crunching all of the colors in their color grading. It's really, really weird. I'm just not a fan of the look. I don't think it looks very good.
Aren't orange people just Jersey Shore? Fake spray tans! Fake spray tans for everybody.
I can't
look like you have jaundice.
I have met people with naturally orange skin, but it doesn't look like the Jersey Shore look.
Well, yeah, it's because they look like they popped out of like a container of orange.
Yeah, they're almost glowing, like they're fluorescent orange.
Oh, I don't like this face on this monkey. Coated in Cheeto dust, says Verb.
Yeah.
Donald Trump went face first into the Cheetos.
He has a thin coating of Cheeto dust to protect him from radiation. We can't risk him mutating further.
I think the Cheeto dust is integrated into his DNA.
Oh, I'm sure that Cheetos popcorn tastes pretty good, Dezern. It sounds like it might.
Flamin' hot Cheeto popcorn.
I don't know what's happening with this face, but I've given up trying to fight with it. It will be what it will be. And what it will be monkey.
It will be
It will be monkey. It's a white moose man. Oh, a whittle moose man. I don't know why I read it as white moose man.
Monkeys will invade us one day.
Who's to say they haven't?
The man, for now.
Bing Foof. Yes. Bing Foof. All right. Bunning de foot. Nope. Discern with Littlefoot. No. Wait. That's a dinosaur. What if Bigfoot was a dinosaur? Also, does Littlefoot's name change when he grows older? Does he become Bigfoot?
Here's a good question.
Why did I give him a mullet? Fuck it, that's his hair now. Man, did any of you guys see the Land Before Time movie where they met aliens? Or at least Littlefoot specifically met aliens?
No, I think I only saw the first one.
Yeah, it's like the 5th one or something where they meet aliens. Or at least just Littlefoot. So there's like a thing where they like see a light in the sky that's like the movie makes it seem like it was probably just like a meteorite. And then there's a bunch of new dinosaurs that join their herd because they're traveling somewhere, and it's all about suspicion of the outsider or something. And people are like, "Oh, the painted faces," which is a terrible name for these dinosaurs, by the way. That are these I forget what kind of dinosaur they actually are, but they're like little bipedal lizards that probably ate eggs by the looks of them. But they're like, oh, they came in, and ever since the weird light was in the sky, bad things have been happening. Like the path is covered up, and it's because of all these new people, and so on and so forth. And Littlefoot has to save the day from bigotry and superstition. And then at the end, the two colorful lizards are talking to him, and they're like, he's more intelligent than others of his species. Yes, it is very surprising to find one at this point in time on a planet like this. And he's like, what does this mean? And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. Someday you'll understand. You have a bright and wonderful future ahead of you. And then he like turns to walk away, and you don't see what they turn into, I guess, but like a glowing light pops up behind him, and he turns around and he goes, whoa. And then you see a little light go poof off into the sky. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this how it ended? What the hell?
I did not realize how long this series went on for. It
had so many movies.
13 direct-to-video music.
Yeah, I was gonna say it had 13, didn't it?
Soundtracks, jeez.
Which one is the one where they meet aliens? I have to like... Hold on. Land Before Time Aliens.
And I'm guessing it's the one that says Invasion of the Tyrannosauruses.
It's called the Stone of Cold Fire.
What? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, the Rainbow Faces, that's what they were called. Time Rainbow Faces. Let's see. There's a fanfic.
Oh, God.
Oh, they show him space! I forgot that they show him space! There's not a clip of it. Dang it. Let's see if I can find a description of them. They have major roles. They are the ones who plant the rumor of the Stone of Cold Fire having magical powers, which is proven to be wrong. They also tell the dinosaurs about the, quote, beyond the mysterious beyond, which is space. But they are not trying to reveal too much, as seen when the male occasionally almost reveals more than he should, but is stopped by the female. At the end of the film, after they talk to Littlefoot, they disappear when they are suddenly surrounded by a shimmering pillar of light. When the light fades away, they are gone, whereupon Littlefoot looks into the sky and watches a bright light in the sky fly upward towards the stars. The identity of the two remains ambiguous because of their knowledge of means of departure. The most commonly accepted explanation of their existence is that they were scouts from an extraterrestrial civilization who had taken on a saurian form in order to interact with the natives. Oh no, that's just where the other kinds of their species pop in. I've never seen past the first one. Also, maybe they were being sarcastic and they knew the meteorite was coming, or is that too dark? That might be a little too dark. It's weird. It's a very strange way that the movie ends, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, but don't the dinosaurs get wiped out by a meteor soon? In the grand scheme of things. Aw, thank you. First says that the little Bigfoot looks like an embodiment of, I want to say, the 90s with that mullet. Yeah, you have a good life ahead of you. We lied. Oh, you should not have told him that. It was so mean. But yeah, they do have a song about space. And they do call it Beyond the Mysterious Beyond. Where the Mysterious Beyond refers to the world that has not been explored in Land Before Time. So beyond that would be beyond the planet. And that would be space. So they're almost certainly aliens. Because if they're not, then like, what even was that supposed to be? Time-traveling dinosaurs? Because they just appear in a pillar of light like they got beamed up.
So, what do you think, Mike? Integrate that into the Star Wars D&D game somehow?
I'm sorry, what?
You want to integrate the space dinosaurs?
I mean, didn't we already?
I can do that.
Didn't we already with the God, what are the hell the name of the Saurian aliens in Star Wars?
What?
What are the name
Trandoshans?
of Trandoshans? Thank you. We have Trandoshans. Why will this not? Oh, come on, Photoshop. We were just talking about this. Did it freeze? Froze. Give me a second.
They're lizard aliens, Alex. They're not dinosaur aliens.
There we go.
God.
Saved
How
it.
spacist can you get?
Good lord. Yeah, Desaren says, what are they gonna do? They're dinosaurs. Are they gonna laser the meteorite with this newfound knowledge? Maybe they'll wish on tree stars hard enough and it'll blow the meteor up. Who knows?
They're going to build a trebuchet.
Now, the Green Valley, I was under the impression when I was a little kid that perhaps that was supposed to be a place where maybe dinosaurs still existed because it was cut off from the rest of the world. But in subsequent movies, they leave it very frequently. Sarah says they'll build a big umbrella. Yes. First they'll invent the umbrella, and then they will build a big umbrella.
Then they'll build a laser cannon.
Yes. Followed by a laser cannon that will come out of the umbrella. And it will get rid of the meteor. It's the Great Valley, not... Oh, Great Valley. Sorry. It's been a long time, okay? I mean, I guess I should be embarrassed, though, because that was my favorite movie. For, like, forever. We're going into Beyond territory now. Oh, Bond territory. Sorry, go ahead, David.
I was gonna say, before they build the laser, though, they need to invent the U.S. Senate so they can have a debate about it.
About whether or not to fire the laser?
About whether or not to build the laser, and then they're going to have to make a debate and, put a bill forward, and then someone's going to tack on something, really extortionate about how they need to also include, like, new gun rights or anything, and then it's just going to be filibustered into non-existence.
Hold on a moment, everybody. The kitty cries for sustenance. Don't worry, Cece. I have chicken with salmon and carrots. Because I get you the fancy foods. I actually tried to look for, like, really healthy food. I'll have to try to feed her more often because she's got the beginnings of a thyroid thing, so she loses a lot of weight. She hasn't lost enough for them to be like she needs medication. So I'm just trying to give her extra so she'll put on a few pounds. It feels like she is. It feels like she's got more fat on her. She's not as bony. But she's always just, been so light. From moment one, my cat has weighed like nearly nothing.
Maybe she's part bird.
Maybe. I mean, I think her breed is known to have light bones because they're fast, but not this light. Ferb says Land Before Time was my jam. Yeah, it was mine too. I watched it all the time when I was little. But I guess that just goes to show that if you don't watch something for long enough, you will forget. Oh no, one day I'll forget the names of all the Power Rangers, I say, having probably forgotten most of them.
Tommy Oliver. Oh, shit, I don't remember any others.
I remember Tommy and Kimberly, Trini, Zach, and Billy were the first ones. I did remember. High five for me. Anything after that, though? Nope. Don't ask me who came after. I don't know.
There was probably a Brad.
I missed one? Who did I miss? Oh, Jason. I forgot the Red Ranger. Jason.
The original Red Ranger. Night.
Ferb says, I found a collector's edition at Walmart, so I have all 14 movies. Oh my god. Considering how much data can fit on, DVDs and Blu-rays, wouldn't it be something if it was, all 14 movies on one disc?
Very possible. You certainly put it on the USB. I think how small data is. If you own a Nintendo Switch and you want to store games on there, you just need a micro SD.
Mm-hmm. Imagine if they let you put actual memory on it, how many games you could put.
Actually, it's kind of ridiculous how large micro SD card.
Oh no, I mean, I'm just joking because it's always here's the smallest possible amount of memory. Use that. And I'm like, but what if I put a terabyte in there? What if I put 2? They'd be like, please don't. We want you to buy a new system later. And I'm like, no. What if I just kept upgrading this one? What if I kept upgrading the Switch? What would you do then?
Holy shit. You can get a micro SD card that has a terabyte of data.
Oh my god, yes. All photos taken in 4K.
Okay,
Does it need to be? No, but I want to count the pores on that butterfly.
Okay, I'm not sure if I want to trust this from eBay. Micro SD card, 2 terabyte storage for £20.
This is going to be a weird mix, but there's a short it says Desaren, there's a short animated series. It's only one season, viewed fondly as possible representation, but it was also based off an Argentinian comic, and the depictions of the 2 Asian characters are a bit... The polite term would be caricature? Oh, what movie is that? And by movie, I mean show, since you said show and not movie. Cyber 6 is what it's called. That makes me think of, Cyborg number 9. Which coincidentally just makes me want to watch Alien 9 again. The heroine has a male secret identity during the day. Ah, cool. I can see why it would be good representation. But then, of course, I guess you have to take the good with the bad and be like, well, it was good until that character walked out and I realized that the creator was, not very friendly towards certain people, but hey. They are only in 1 or 2 episodes. Oh, that's good, at least. So you just cringe for a little while and then it goes back to normal. You're like, just skip the scenes they're in and pretend they don't exist while I'm watching the show.
I might hear something you might like. Apparently the BBC just released a documentary on Hans Zimmer and people quite like it.
What's up?
Apparently, the BBC Two just released a documentary on Hans Zimmer, and people really like it.
Hooray! He's a
He's
neat
definitely-
dude.
He's an interesting guy. And he's very talented at what he does. Have you seen the Dune movie?
The what? Oh, Dune.
Yeah.
I've seen one clip of it, and I was impressed.
Oh, you should watch the whole thing. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely recommend watching it. The soundtrack is phenomenal.
I saw this one clip of like a person in a spaceship landing somewhere to like present a scroll or something, and I was just like, the visuals here are
Yep.
actually really good at capturing a feeling of technology of the future in a normal setting.
Oh, it's very good at doing that.
Yeah, it does it's especially interesting because in the world of Dune, AI is not a thing.
Yeah, there's no way.
There was a big in the history of Dune. There was this huge like AI uprising, and so all artificial intelligence has been banned. So everything is done via people who can use magic, which that's explained in the. Yeah, it's explained in.
Oh, seeing one of the operators was weird in that movie, though. Oh boy.
I strongly recommend it. It's a very, very good movie. It unfortunately has to kind of gloss over some of the stuff in the books, but I mean, to be 100% honest, I just don't think that you can make a Dune movie and have everything from the first book in it, because
Here's
just
the art style.
it's a long-ass book.
I know Jason Momoa disagrees with you. Apparently, he said like for the first one. Sorry.
Oh,
Apparently, he said like the first part of the movie, there's enough footage to make like a 5-hour version, and he wants the studio to release that.
oh, they've probably recorded a whole bunch of shit. Oh, I think I've actually seen clips of this Dezaren. I just haven't watched it. Also, that guy's hair is fabulous.
Yeah, Alex and I have had a discussion about this, but basically we've decided that only certain individuals can truly appreciate and enjoy a 12-hour cut of the movie.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was a long and lengthy discussion in which I pointed out that most human beings, with only a few special scenarios, can only stand to watch something about 2.5 hours before, even if they really enjoy it, they'll start checking their watches. Because that's about how long a dream is. That's about as long as your brain can go without new stimulus.
Meanwhile, annually, I like pick out a day and just watch the entirety of the Lord of the Rings trilogy in one sitting.
And we discussed why you're an outlier because of that, and that you don't count.
It's a normal human being.
Oh, that's the heroine and her secret identity. I seem to remember her looking sort of like what Bayonetta eventually would look like. I could be wrong, but that's what I recall her looking.
I'm watching this scene again of like the scroll being presented, and all the people in here are very pretty. I feel like all of them could be elves in Lord of the Rings.
That's because there's no ugly people in the future, except for the Baron.
Well, that's because the Harkonnen are evil, and you know what evil
Yeah,
is.
and evil is ugly.
Evil is
This foot is too small. It need be big. Big foot for big foot child. There we go. This is Bigfoot.
What I find funny is that a lot of people, because they have only read the first book and are unfamiliar with the entire series, a lot of people don't pick up on the fact that it's not just the Harkonnens that are bad.
Everybody's an asshole.
The Emperor himself orchestrates everything.
Yup.
Actually.
Oh, let me see her outfit, and then I will recall.
Harkonnen are just
Yeah.
tools for people.
She does look kind of like, yeah, see, so I wasn't crazy. She does sort of look like Bayonetta
One could call Baron Harkonnen an evil tool.
of the Emperor.
Mhm.
He
And he's
also
definitely a tool.
he also could be described as an evil beach ball. You can't be
Yeah,
fat.
I definitely feel like the new movie made Harkonnen less doofy when he floats around.
Thank God. But I mean, what I will say though that I do appreciate is that the movie I wouldn't say is fat phobic about his size because the proportions he possesses aren't really human. And that's why he needs an anti-grav belt to float him around the room, because...
Well, they do it in a way where it's more like... It's done in a way to make it feel like he... Because, I mean, in the universe, he eats people, right?
He does eat people?
Yes. They do it in a way that makes him feel like he's... Like, he just devours everything.
Yeah.
As opposed
he doesn't
to
feel human.
Just be like, ooh, look at this gross fat person. It's more like this person is abnormally large because they probably
they're
eat a lot of
large
things that
in
they
a
shouldn't.
way that a human should not be large.
Mm-hmm.
They're
also,
large in an uncanny valley way.
He moves in a way that's very uncanny for how large he is as well.
Yeah. So what do you think of this little Bigfoot?
I think it looks like a baby. Looks like a baby Bigfoot.
A very fuzzy baby.
I agree. It looks very good.
I think its head needs to be bigger.
Looks like a Pokemon.
Bigger head for more cuteness. Yes! There it is! Now it's even cuter with its head as like 3 different sizes.
Now it's realistically proportioned to the human baby.
Yeah, except that this one can walk.
When human babies learn to walk, they fucking quit.
They go! They haven't learned speed or cruise control.
You're not prepared. They can sometimes they'll like surprise you. They're like, oh my god, did you teleport?
Like I blinked and the baby just disappeared. He's up 2 stories and 5 rooms over. Where did he go? Dezarin says the main villain of Cyber 6 is a former Nazi scientist who has a long nose, big glasses, goose steps, and talks to everybody like they're idiots and beneath him. So yeah, he's also a caricature. I mean, I guess in that sense, it's good that everybody in here is a caricature.
I'm watching bits of Dune, and I gotta say, it's very weird to see Dave Bautista in whiteface.
Huh?
Well, they made him really pale. I mean, isn't he Hispanic?
Who are you referring to?
Who?
Dave Bautista.
Wait, Cece, don't do
that. Bautista? I don't think that he's like super dark skinned. But yeah, they just desaturated his features. Yeah.
Oh, the Panther is her brother. Cool.
Right, his mother is Greek and his father is the son of Filipino immigrants.
Yeah, he's got a kind of a Mediterranean look to him. But no, I mean, it is uncanny, but everyone is uncanny.
Everybody is uncannily pale and desaturated.
They live on a world without a sun.
Yeah, they live in, like, space Scotland. And I will say that because everything is, like, gray and prone to rain and swampy. It's very pretty.
Really? You think
but the sun don't come out.
You say that Harkonnen's planet looks like Scotland? Honestly, the place where Atreides comes from, to me, looks more
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong place. I was thinking of the wrong family. Sorry. No, the other planet looks just like shit.
Yeah, like the Harkonnen's planet looks like...
The Harkonnen planet looks like Space Scotland.
More like England.
But the others look like crap.
Honestly, imagine if your homeworld was that... You know that the THX intro where it's like that storm that's in a little glass orb and it shatters and then it's like the storm is everywhere?
Yes.
Imagine if that was your homeworld, because that's where the Harkonnens live. But yeah, Dave Bautista is he's even balder than usual in that movie too.
Somehow.
Because for some reason all the Harkonnens are hairless.
Because they're in armor all the time, probably. Like Spartans.
Like, did you notice that all their troops are hairless too? Like, they're all bald.
So you know what, Desaren? I would love to be able to turn into a huge cat. I think that would be an amazing superpower. How about you, Mikey? Would you like to turn into a panther on command? And still maintain your human faculties?
No.
No?
I do not want to be a panther.
Gasp.
I would not like to be a cat.
Oh! Aaron says no, it's not turning into a panther. This is more a brain transplant. Oh, I'm sorry. His brain got transplanted into a panther. I retract my statement then. I don't want to be that. Oh god, speaking of Bayonetta, have you heard what happened?
Yes.
That's such bullshit.
The guy, the director who's like giving her shit too, got banned off of Twitter.
Yeah, he did. So the actress who voices Bayonetta,
Elena Taylor.
yeah, she was like, "Hey, can I get paid like an actual living wage for this, please?" And the director went, "No," and fired her.
Yeah,
and then when
the thing that boggles my mind about that is that they hired Jennifer Hale, who is a union voice actor.
So they'll have to pay her anyway.
Pay her more.
Yeah.
Like, I am actually flabbergasted by the fact that they fired Taylor and replaced her with Hale, having to pay her even more.
Yeah.
By the way, I know that a lot of people have been giving Taylor. I think I've been looking at what Taylor said and like, oh, really? That's a lot, basically sort of giving her shit in a way because they don't understand exactly what's going on here. So, Taylor was offered $4,000 to be the main character in the video game. And yeah, it sounds like a lot of money until you consider all that work that she's doing is meant to spread out a term of months, potentially, for how long she's going to be voice acting.
Yeah, multiple recording
sessions. That's not anywhere near enough. That's not a livable wage.
Yeah, like, if the prices that I set for my voice acting as a unrepresented independent voice actor applied to that, I would be making more money than her.
Yeah, and that's insane. You can't live off. You can't even live off of $4,000 a month. Yeah, so they can afford it.
It's not like a small indie company. It's like one of the largest game.
Yeah, it's a poor startup indie company. They can't possibly pay her.
Like, I think there was even something early on that said that $4,000 was less money than she was offered to play Bayonetta in the first game.
I believe it. And then, of course, when people were like, "That's outrageous," the director popped onto Twitter and was like, "You don't know anything you're talking about, and you're all stupid. Pay attention to the rules in my bio. You can't disagree with me." And then the last retort I saw was somebody going, "We wouldn't have to talk shit about you if you actually paid your voice actors." And as Mike said, he's been banned off of Twitter, so...
To put this into perspective, the average SAG SAG-AFTRA a negotiated rate is anywhere between $700 to $2,000 a recording session.
Yeah.
Multiple recording sessions, you're probably looking at close to $20,000 total.
Oh, look at that! A livable wage for several months.
$20,000 to $30,000 for a voice actor playing a main character in a linear game. Mm-hmm. It probably balloons to even higher when we're talking like an RPG that has multiple different dialogue trees and everything. Mm-hmm. And then on top of all that, SAG-AFTRA has negotiated royalties after the fact. So when games sell a certain amount, the voice actor actually gets paid additional recording session fees.
Yep.
Yeah. And
she was not getting that at all.
No. Well, she's not union.
I know. And that's why union good. Be a union. Be part of a union. Make a union.
Yes. I'm not sure if she is eligible for that because she's British.
Well, then the Brits need to make a voice actors union.
Do the British not have a voice actors union?
They might have an actors union, but I'm not sure about SAG-AFTRA.
It sounds like you have a goal.
Yeah,
be the guy who makes the union, David. Be the one who makes the union.
That's an awful lot of response.
No, I know. David's like, I'd love to, but no.
No, Mike is putting politely what I was about to say. That's too much bullshit for me.
I know. That requires knowledge of a bunch of things that aren't voice acting.
Well, it's also a lot to shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're going to be a target of companies wanting to destroy you because you're jeopardizing their bottom line.
Now,
the
if
Actors Guild of Great Britain.
Yeah, now if you reached out to SAG over here and said, hey, can we collab? Can we get a British branch of you? Maybe. I say that like I know how they work. I don't think they do.
SAG-AFTRA operates in both Canada and the UK. Or not in the UK, Canada and the United States. I don't know if they're looking to expand their operation just yet.
Oh, well, at least now we know it can indeed operate in other countries, so...
Well, it says America, not like United States and America.
Well, maybe America the continent, but Canada isn't the US.
Sure. Yeah,
but
people are just probably part of the regular actors union.
Yeah.
Because voice acting is not a huge thing over here.
It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, you guys have plenty of shows and games and things.
If anything, acting and voice acting are among the only exportable things that the UK has at the moment.
According to the BBC, yes.
the BBC does not lie.
Well, okay, but
that reminds me, I need to watch the next episode of British
Don't worry,
Show.
soon Liz Truss will add apples to that list.
Oh my god.
Okay. Put it this way. Like, when it comes, we do not have a lot of places here for local sort of projects. Like, for example, Rocksteady is a British video game company. So we've got a branch of Rockstar that's in Scotland, and they both go to America for their voice actors.
Makes sense because their games are taking place in the United States. But
True.
I mean, but keep in mind, like, I think that's slowly changing because you're seeing Lion's Head kind of opening back up, and Rare is also based in the UK.
But Lion's Head, they just went straight to like TV actors, like there are a lot of like British actors that have been staples of like British dramas and things like that.
Well, we'll see if that changes because the new Fable game. Oh, actually, no, it's not Lion's Head. I forget what the name of it.
Lionsgate.
Yeah, no, Lionsgate. Yeah, but I forget what the new developer is.
Oh,
that's working on it.
I don't know.
But they're based in the UK. If they're aiming to make like the next generation Fable game, they may be forced to hire voice actors to make ends meet. Because they might have a lot of different characters.
Playground games.
Yeah, playground games.
But yeah, and when it comes to like British sort of TV shows made for kids or anything like that, like cartoons, it almost always just goes to British comedians who voice the roles. So just because they kind of do voices and that kind of thing, so it's just usually what happens.
That's weird.
It's weird.
I guess it makes sense though, because the UK doesn't, because the voice acting in the United States grew out of not only like cartoon, but also out of anime imports, which I don't think the UK has a really big dubbing scene. So
we had a little bit of it. I know that much because there was like the original Ghost in the Shell movie. I think was dubbed in England, and well, not in England, but with a British studio, and that one had a 50-50 hit ratio. But even then, they used American actors. I think one of them was even an actor they just grabbed off the street. He was an American.
Are there any Americans around here? They just got out on the street and just
Guy raises his hand. You want to make 50 pounds?
Literally, it can be that low effort.
Desarin says, I wonder if it would be better to get paid per line or something for voice acting.
It depends on what you want to go with. Typically, how it works with voice acting is the less work you have to do, the more you get paid. Which is odd, but it balances out. So say, for example, you're voicing a movie trailer or commercial. That is the most you'll make. That's where the big money is. After that, it goes to, well, say you're doing like something for like TV work or something along those lines. That will also pay you well, but you're expected to do more work for it, and it sort of goes in that general direction. So like, you'll get paid less for doing an audiobook, but you'll get paid a lot of money at the end of it because of all the work you put into it. And it's like video games are somewhere there in the middle.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing for sound editing. Like if you're a freelance sound editor. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yo, no, you first. You have more experience in this.
Oh no, I have nothing to add. You pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Well, my main thing I was going to say is that at the moment, for like independent animation and such, I just charge per word.
Yeah,
I do need to make. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I think SAG-AFTRA negotiates like hourly or per session because it's just simpler.
Yeah, and you don't know how many takes would be. It also encourages the studio to use everything that they get from the actor, because it's like, well, I had to pay for all of it, so I better make sure that I use it.
Yeah, and one actor named Sean Chiplock, he made an interesting point about stuff like that, is that actors don't give their best or everything they can when they are auditioning, because they don't want to like improvise or try something different or be inspired, and do their own thing, add something to the character. They want to do just what the director wants because they are worried about not landing the role, because it literally does make the difference between whether or not they can pay the rent or something.
Dezarin just said, I only just noticed the tiny bones, or I guess the skeletal framework. Oh, the undersketch? Yeah. I erase it till it's almost invisible, but it helps me keep track of where stuff is. Underdrawings are extremely helpful. And I say that having been a stubborn artist that refused to do them for a long time.
I mean, it's nice to experiment. I mean, I like doing that kind of stuff. Oh, sorry, what?
I just realized I didn't make this any bigger before I inked it. Convert to smart object.
But like, I don't know how you operate when it comes to like sound design, Mike. Like, do you just go with what you feel is appropriate, or do you ask for as specific details as possible from your client and then just try and meet their needs? Mike?
I might need to look for that tutorial to fix this. Also, Mikey, he has a question for you.
I'm sorry, one second.
Okay.
How badly blurred?
It'll just be a couple.
Oh, not blurred at all. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Okay. Holy shit. We can now rasterize the object. Good Lord. For a minute, I was terrified. It was like, oh no, it's gonna be all fuzzy and crap. Oh my God. Whoops. Whew. Crisis averted. Yay. There's other ways to fix it, but I don't want to have to look up that tutorial while I'm live.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what were you going to ask?
Well, when it comes to sound design, do you try and make what you feel is right for the scene, or do you like get as many details as possible from the client and then try and make to their liking?
It's a bit of both. I find that oftentimes they're happy with pretty much with whatever you give them, unless they're like an absolute control freak.
Okay.
My experience is that a lot of directors who don't really know a lot about the rest of the filmmaking process view what sound editors do as like magic.
Mhm.
So they think everything that you do is amazing. I've encountered a few directors or project directors that are more controlling, but they typically like to have, most of them. Some of them are not like this, but most of them are typically like they like to have a dialogue or like talk about the aesthetic that they want to go for. But they're not like averse to the editor adding their own twist to it or whatever.
Okay, now the only thing that will be weird about this drawing is that its line weight will be thicker than some of the other ones, but that's okay. We've solved the problem and I don't have to ink it again.
How many times have you come across someone who didn't know what they wanted?
Me.
I think it depends on the scope of the project.
Yeah, because I've definitely had people who are like, you do this or do that, and I'm like, and eventually get to the point of, you don't know what you want, I'm gonna make a decision for you.
I've had to do that a couple times. Yeah. But generally, I've not had like super terrible experiences. I've had the worst experience I think I've had is actually a person who worked for me, because I was in charge of a team. Person just did not listen to instructions. Like no matter how clearly you made them, it's like the person existed in a completely different like headspace.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, don't
I actually wound up letting them go.
I call those people co-workers.
Don't worry about it, Ferb. It's just the perfectionist part of my brain being like, oh, it's not gonna be the same. So yeah, thicker lines are good for you. Like a Dezarin has a comment for you, by the way, Mike. You draw? Oh my god, I can't even imagine. Magic, you animate, same reaction. You do carpentry, same. You can chew gum and walk at the same time. The perfectionist is a bitch, I know them well. Says Ferb. Yeah. Sometimes I want to talk, I'm like, can you go away? And it's like, no, we will make it beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? And I'm like, I know it's beautiful, but did we have to suffer this way? Art is suffering. Anyway.
I make my best art when I'm happy and content.
Yeah, I know. That isn't, you know what, this Aaron, though? I'm sure you have plenty of other skills, but being good at games is also a good skill to have because it means you're good at problem solving.
I'm sure there's also plenty of other things that you have skills.
Oh, yes, and that's what it is.
Skills up.
Okay, I just want to wrap up this stuff real quick. I know that there was more you wanted to say, Mikey. So, I want to thank everybody for coming and for staying with me through that frightening crisis we had for like 3 seconds. I hope that I will see you guys tomorrow because I believe that tomorrow is the Chupacabra. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it is the Chupacabra. It is the Chupacabra.
Yeah, the Chupacabra.
It means goat sucker. I know, and you know what's funny, Ferb? Is that these are all random because I just kept rolling some 20-sided dice. So those all ended up one after another, purely by accident. Straight out of the Bigfoot anime. So yes, tomorrow will be the Chupacabra, a spiky little boy that's probably a raccoon with mange. Mange strikes again. But I want to thank everybody who came to keep me company. David and Mike on the audio end, and everybody who came to see me on the typing stream end of things. Thank you. I hope you guys had fun. I hope I'll see you tomorrow. All of my social links are below the video, both here on Twitch and on YouTube later, including links to my comic and to my Patreon, which contains all kinds of fun rewards, including free art and access to the Discord. And there is no minimum limit for that. The lowest possible tier, $1, gets you access. So good. But anyway, I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day. Bye!
Bye.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers over on Patreon and give a special shout out to Jack Fox, Old Monster, Dizarin, and Revolution72. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. I'd also like to give a big thank you to everyone else watching. If you enjoyed the video, let me know with a like and a comment. Be sure to have a look at the other videos on my channel and subscribe so you never miss a new one. Links to my Patreon, Twitch, and all my other socials are in the description below the video. I hope I'll see you next time. Bye bye!